Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Garage Talk Sports. I'm Nick.
And I'm Bobby. Unfortunately, Andrew is not here today. He is sick this week, so we don't have him. But we wanted to get another episode out for you guys, so we're here in the garage bringing you another episode.
Yeah, probably going to be a little bit shorter episode because just me and Bobby to bounce off. But we're going to start with some NFL news. A lot of moves with Rodgers and Julio Jones. They're not really going anywhere, but they definitely want to leave.
Yeah.
So it's going to have some big implications just for their teams and they're probably the end of their careers because they're both kind of getting up there. Then NBA play-ins ended probably like right after we were done filming last week, but now we've started the first couple games of each series are kind of played through. So we have some big shocking surprises of what's happened already. And then we're going to move into a sport that we really haven't covered a lot. We don't know too much about. We just watch it, we play it. Sometimes we're going to talk about some golf because not a lot of crazy stuff happened. They still played golf, but we just want to touch up onto it and at least cover it a little bit. It was kind of a major tournament that happened.
Yeah.
And then if we do have time, we have a couple like sports things that just happened and just fill in some time just so we can keep talking about that. And then of course we're going to end with my question of the week. And yeah, we're just going to get right into the NFL talk then.
Yeah. So what's going on with Rodgers is my whole thing is like, it's not looking good for Green Bay. That's for sure. I mean,
I'm very happy over here being a Bears fan.
As a Bears fan, I'm super excited. Like this is the dream come true for us. If Rodgers isn't in Green Bay, they're not going to be as good as they know.
I look at it as like Packers. You almost guarantee a season split with the Bears and Packers. They usually win at home, respectively. But if you take Rodgers out of the equation, it's like you would expect the Bears to win unless something crazy happens. Yeah. Even though they're in Green Bay on the road.
Because think about it like this: without Rodgers, that they're not nearly as good as they are normally. Like Rodgers makes the team. Like that. Yeah. What I'm saying, like if you got Blake Bortles or Jordan Love throwing that ball, Devontae Adams not as good. Their running game's not going to be as good. Their offense is just going to regress, and then they're going to rely solely on their defense. And I don't think their defense is that much better than the Bears.
No, I don't think so either. And I think like my big thing that I heard a couple weeks ago was like Aaron Rodgers will not play if Jordan Love's still on the team. So I was like, okay, they're going to get rid of Jordan Love. But I feel like more stuff has come out in the past week or so that has led me to believe that even if Jordan Love gets moved somewhere else, I still think Rodgers will not really want to come back.
Yeah.
So I know there was an interview. Do you want to talk about kind of what happened there?
Yeah, so they kind of asked nonchalantly about it. Aaron Rodgers was dodging the question. He didn't seem like he wanted to talk about it too much, but he did go in. He said he loves his teammates, he loves the coaches. So it seems like it's all Gutekunst. Like it seemed that he has a problem with. Like it didn't seem like he even said like, he didn't mind Jordan Love, like he had no problem with him. I mean, obviously there's probably a little resentment.
Yeah, but I feel like more of the resentment is from, the upper management. Like my whole thing is they traded up to get Jordan Love in the first round. If they would have taken a backup quarterback in like say round 3, I mean, I don't think Rodgers is upset. Yeah. But like it's almost like they got Jordan Love to replace Rodgers. Yeah. So I feel like I would be upset if someone like, yeah, we got them to replace you, but we're not ready to replace you yet. But just know, like, that's your replacement.
Yeah,
like,
they draft your replacement, and then you go ahead and put up an MVP season. So you threw a whole kink in their plan because they basically said when they drafted him, like, you're washed up, like, you're done playing your best football. And he went out and played arguably his best season yet. Like,
and still without, I mean, yes, Devontae Adams, amazing wide receiver. Aaron Jones, a good running back. Yeah. Like, he's not a slouch running back, but it's like they could have drafted a wide receiver or someone for him to throw to.
Because after Devontae Adams, you're literally throwing to undrafted rookies. Like,
yeah. Well, and then like I feel like almost every wide receiver that Aaron Rodgers has, partnered with has gone on to be better than expected. Like Jordy Nelson, good wide receiver. Without Rodgers, he's not as good as where he was.
Yeah, no, because when
Allen Lazard, MVS, Geronimo Allison, like all these guys are just like, oh, we're just gonna fill in a wide receiver spot, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, these guys are actually pretty good.
Yeah, but honestly, I do agree with you. Rodgers makes them because when Jordan Nelson left and he went to Oakland, he was not putting up nowhere near the number. I know it was towards his end of his career, but he was not putting up numbers nowhere close to when he was with Rodgers.
Yeah, and then I feel like that's all. Like, I don't want to say that like Rodgers, like the reason Devontae Adams is good is because Rodgers, because I think Devontae Adams is still a great wide receiver.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But I think he needs Aaron Rodgers level or about the same. Like, he's not gonna. If I feel like you flip Rodgers on the Bears and put Trubisky on the Packers, like all like with Kelvin White, probably Anthony Miller, probably all those guys end up looking like they're better wide receivers, and Devontae Adams looks worse because he's not an elite wide receiver where he's going to be able to shine with regardless of whatever quarterback's out there. But he's still going to be decent.
All right, and my question for you. Okay, so if you think that roles were reversed, Devontae Adams had Mitchell Trubisky thrown to him, and Allen Robinson had Rodgers thrown to him, do you think Allen Robinson would be better than Devontae Adams?
I think if you put Devontae Adams and Allen Robinson with the same quarterback on a team, I think Allen Robinson is already better than him. I think if you flipped Rodgers and Trubisky, then Robinson's stats would be better than Adams.
Yeah, that's what I think. I honestly think like if Allen Robinson had like a better quarterback thrown to him, no offense to Trubisky, he's just not nearly as good.
Well, no, it's like Robinson works hard to get wide open, and then Trubisky throws it 10 yards over his head.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, a normal quarterback who's accurate, Robinson already has more complete, like more receptions and more yards.
Yeah,
so it's
because that's how I honestly feel like if the roles were reversed, Allen Robinson would be way better than. Well, not way better, but he would be better than.
Yeah, I think skill-wise, he's already better, and then stats-wise, he would finally be better. So then it would be even harder to argue like who's better because both stat and skill-wise, Robinson would be ahead.
Because if Justin Fields panned out, which I'm hoping he does pan out, I think Allen Robinson will be a top 5 wide receiver.
I think so too. I think he's had the skill set since he's been in Jacksonville, since he's come out of like the NFL draft. I think he's been ready to be a top 5 receiver. But it's like, how much can you do when the quarterback can't throw you the ball?
Yeah, he's never had good help with his quarterback position. As for Devontae Adams, always had Aaron Rodgers thrown to him. So, honestly, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, we're definitely going to see a huge regression in Devontae Adams.
I think so. And then I also think it's like Rodgers is just out there living his life right now.
Yeah,
it's almost like football is on the back burner. I know you were talking about he's losing out on like $500K a day.
Yeah, $500K a day. He's in Hawaii with his girlfriend Charlene Woodley and Miles Teller.
Great awesome. Actor, great guy. I mean, like a guy that I would want to party with. Like,
I would definitely want to vacation.
Let me just skip work, get rid of my $500K a day, but go just party with Miles Teller.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
But as like. He's not the only one missing OTAs. Like a lot of their wide receivers, their offensive line are missing it too. But
they're probably in the 48 connected states. Rodgers is about as far away as you can get.
Yeah, as far away as you could get without leaving the U.S. But I'm just saying, like, as for how it's going and what he's not really saying much, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Like. So I guess I have a question for you, and I'll probably tie into like kind of our next point. So say Green Bay is able to get rid of Jordan Love, because I feel like that's kind of still a sticking point. Like Rodgers is not going to come out and say that he doesn't like Jordan Love.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they got rid of Jordan Love, that might help a little bit. Say they get rid of Jordan Love and somehow package it to get Julio Jones. Same upper management, everything stays. Do you think Rodgers is okay and comes back? Or is it too far gone to this point where it's got to be on a different team?
I'm thinking it's like a Le'Veon Bell situation. Like there is nothing that you could do because they already offered him the extension, and that's not really making him happy. Which I don't blame him, because at this point, like imagine going to work, because you got to think about it like
an everyday person.
Yeah, everyday person. Like you're going to work, you're underappreciated. It's not going to really change much.
Yeah.
Like, because the people are what make the organization. And it's just when you're underappreciated that much, which they definitely have showed that. Gutekunst has really showed that. I think the only thing that will bring him back is if Gutekunst is gone.
Okay.
But I honestly, it's tough. You really can't do it. If I was in ownership and that was part of my decision, I'm choosing Rodgers.
Yeah, I feel like when you're looking at that, Rodgers is one of those guys where he makes your organization. Like,
Yeah.
you look at Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, probably Mahomes is starting to get up into that. And then, like, I know Peyton Manning and Drew Brees have retired now. But, like, I feel like those guys where it's like, it's either me or said GM or me or said coach. I feel like you're like, well, okay, it's the player because you're making the team.
Yeah, and it's not like he's hating on Matt LaFleur. It's not like you know what I mean. It's not like he has problems with other teammates. So I honestly like I don't think they will get rid of Gutekunst, but if they should, if you have to choose one or the other, you should choose Rodgers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I know it's weird. I know Andrew was talking about this, and like he would probably bring it up more if he was here. But he was saying the Packers are publicly owned, so it's like I feel like with the Bears, say Virginia McCaskey or the McCaskey family could probably easily decide it's just a small set of people.
Yeah, just
we're getting rid of Pace, Nagy, whoever we're getting rid of.
Yeah, so it might be a lot of people that factor into that decision. So it seems unlikely.
And also, I feel like it might be slower, too.
Yeah.
So, like, the longer you wait, I feel like if in August, like right before the season starts, they get rid of the GM, Rodgers may have already decided I'm not playing this year and I'm going to just sit out because I'm frustrated. So, if you wait that long, you might get rid of Jordan Love, get rid of Gutekunst, and Rodgers still isn't going to play for you because he just feels like he's not respected.
And at that point, like Green Bay has to really decide, like if he's really not going to sit out a year and not play, like honestly, you're going to have to try and just package a deal to get rid of him and give him what he wants. Because what good are you going to do eating up like that much cap?
Yeah,
and
eating
not
up
even
that much cap, and like same thing. If you get rid of Jordan Love. Or if you get rid of Jordan Love and Blake Bortles and then Rodgers still doesn't play, you can't get rid of your backup quarterbacks hoping that he comes back. If he still doesn't come back, now you have 0 quarterbacks and you're in an even worse position than just him not showing up.
So I think right now you have to just start getting these guys prepared and that he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a hectic couple of months till we figure this out, but from where I stand, I don't think he's coming back.
So him not coming, well, let's say he's not coming back. Where would you want to see Rodgers go?
I would want to see him land in Denver because I've always said this. They are a quarterback away. They just need a quarterback, and they could be a contender. I know that the AFC West is a very tough division, but if they had Rodgers, and let's say Julio comes down there, dude, that changes it. They will be a top contender in there. I mean, they could compete with the Chiefs,
Yeah. Because the last time they were contenders was when Peyton, went there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like Peyton, not saying that he was bad when he played for the Broncos, but he was definitely at the end of his career. He was definitely regressing to some extent.
But
he still led the team.
He did put up his best numbers.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the 2015 season, I want to say.
Yeah, it was like 2014 and 2015. I knew was when he first came because didn't they lose big to Seattle, and then didn't they beat Cam and the Panthers?
Yeah, they did.
That was weren't they in back-to-back Super Bowls?
Yeah, and so if maybe he can pull a Peyton Manning.
I was gonna say, especially if Julio, because like we already talked, like Rodgers makes the receiving core better.
Yeah,
but if you took Rodgers and then gave Julio Jones, which best receiver he would ever have had if you combine Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones. So I feel like that's a great place. I would like to see Rodgers somehow traded to Miami for Tua. Because I feel like Miami is even more ready than like if they're just quarterback away than the Broncos. Plus their division that they're in. They were one win away for making the playoffs last year. Yeah,
they were tied, and then it was like a tiebreaker. They end up going 10-6 and not making playoffs.
So I'm thinking like I feel like Rodgers, regardless of what team he goes to, except maybe the Chiefs or the Bucks, he definitely makes your team at least one win better.
Yeah, no, and Miami has only gotten better throughout the offseason. Yeah. They got better receivers, better defense. So honestly, I think Tua is at this point. He could be a stud. He could be a dud.
Yeah,
you never know.
No idea.
But as Brady has shown, quarterbacks can go well into their 40s. Brady's still playing good football, and I feel Aaron Rodgers got a lot left in him.
I think so too.
Like,
I think he's getting fed up with just the position he's in.
mm,
So, and I feel like Tua, I feel like they're not confident in Miami because, like, I feel like even going into this draft with that top 10 pick, like, people didn't know for sure if they were they going to take a quarterback if like Fields was still there, and he was there and they didn't. But like, I felt like it was sketchy. Like, they're not super confident with Tua.
yeah, no,
So-
it definitely seems like they are not sold yet. And
like, that would be good for Green, because I feel like Green Bay doesn't want to just give Rodgers away. Like, they're going to need some pieces.
Yeah.
But if you got Tua, I feel like Tua is better than Love
I honestly do
and
too.
better than Blake Bortles. So maybe Tua doesn't start week 1 for Green Bay. Maybe Blake Bortles or Jordan Love starts a game. But I feel like if Tua and Rodgers flip places this offseason,
Oh, Rodgers would be.
Rodgers is going to dominate.
Yeah.
He's super happy. He's going to live that Miami lifestyle
Yeah.
and be happy with his coaches and
That
GMs.
would be a cool landing spot. I don't know if Miami's ready to just deal Tua like that. But again,
No.
with all that Deshaun Watson talk, I mean, I've heard a lot of things saying that Miami could be possibly trading. It could be in contention to trade to get Watson.
Okay. Yeah.
But-
So that means
So I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. If I personally was Miami, I would definitely do that trade.
I don't want to see Rodgers go to Houston. That would be
Yeah, that would
be like, I like Rodgers as a quarterback. It's just that I can't like him in the regular season because it's however good he plays makes it harder for the Bears to get the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I like Rodgers as a quarterback. I think he's great. I want him to be on a good team. I want him to be out of our division.
Yeah.
So if he's not going to play for the Packers, I want him to be able to place to succeed. So I don't want to see him go to Houston because he's going to be even more pissed about the situation.
Yeah, I just hope he goes to a place where he can, like, there's something he can do to progress that team. Like Houston, they're garbage. They're going to be garbage for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of draft picks last year. Like, and then you're taking Davis Mills in the 3rd round. Like, you're just. They didn't make their team better
No, not at all.
this offseason. So they're a team they're rebuilding. They're going to be
For sure.
awful for a while, for the next couple of years.
I look at them as like that extreme rebuild, like where they're like, because like some teams kind of fizzle out and then start the rebuild. They just said no. Like JJ Watt's gone.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins is gone. Like pretty much any piece that you could probably build on for a couple of years while you're rebuilding is gone.
And that's
and Deshaun Watson does not want to play. So,
yeah, and that whole thing going around with him, it's a huge question mark.
Yeah.
You honestly don't know what's going on.
You don't know if he's
so-
not going to play because he doesn't want to, or if maybe he won't be able to play because he'll be suspended for
Yeah.
anything that's going on with him in his
It's-
personal
it's-
life. It's just
It's a terrible life for Houston Texans fans. You got Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien screwed that team completely.
tremendously screwed them up. I feel like we're going to have a lot more Dallas Cowboys fans this year because Houston's just going to be like, let's just move.
Yeah,
you know?
like
But
that
we're-
is a dumpster fire of an organization, and I'm glad that's not us.
Yeah, we have never reached that point. Like, yes, we get mad about stuff our GM and our coaches do, but like we're never at that point where it's
yeah,
just
they're not that bad.
yeah,
to
we're
the
sending
point.
out SOS.
Yeah, but we do have Julio Jones.
Yeah, that's the other
Yeah.
I feel like big
Yeah.
name because I feel like he said he wants out, but I don't think it's at the same level of like. It's not like he wants out because he hates players, teammates, or GMs.
I think it's more of they basically said they were looking to trade him and all this. So I think at this point he's kind of just like hurt by that, and
Yeah.
I don't blame him. It's kind of like he's done so much for this organization and everything, and then for them to just be like, well, putting you on the block, we're searching you. So I think at
Yeah.
this point he's just like, you know what, whatever. Like if you want me gone, I'm gone. Like
Yeah,
so,
I think too he kind of realizes that the Falcons have got to be on the last couple of years where Matt Ryan's going to be a stud,
yeah.
which means that's as good as Julio Jones is going to be because if they're bringing some rookie quarterback or something, he's not going to be as good. And I think we've talked about in the past, their defense is atrocious.
Yeah,
Their
they
defense costs them pretty much every game that they lose.
Yeah, they lose. They just
because
lose
they're
games
winning at
because of it.
halftime, and then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we keep scoring, but you keep giving up twice as many points in the same amount of time.
Like, this has been a problem since 2016. Like, in the Super Bowl. They've always lost in the fourth quarter. Like,
and two, I feel like the Super Bowl, like, the defense gets blamed a little bit, but Kyle Shanahan and the offense, they needed to run the ball more. They were still airing it out and letting more time be on the clock.
There was a lot of other factors into it, but
the defense
is
just, you can't just let people score like that.
It's gonna be weird to see like where Julio Jones lands, because I know Shannon Sharp called him on air.
Okay.
I don't think Julio Jones knew he was on air. He asked him where his top landing spots are, and he said it's New England and Tennessee.
Okay. And those are two fun destinations, I feel like.
Yeah.
For NFL fans, I feel like him going to New England would be amazing, because then like Bill Belichick has so many weapons to try to be like, I'm actually better than Brady. And then I'm going to win the Super Bowl.
You're swapping 111 for another 11.
Yeah.
But New England is tough because you don't like. I get it. Cam Newton did not. Julian Edelman was out. Cam Newton did not have the best receiving core, so you can't blame him entirely for how bad he did do.
And Cam Newton had some COVID issues early, so like I don't know how much that like.
He did say it affected him a lot into the season and weeks after, but it's like you'd be trusting that Cam Newton can return to what he used to be, and after all the injuries and stuff, I'm a huge Cam Newton fan. I've always loved Cam Newton. Always drafted him in fantasy football.
You always want to see him succeed. Like
I immediately did. Like, I felt terrible last year that he did so bad because I want to see him succeed.
Yeah,
but I don't know at this point if he can succeed. Because
that's the question. I feel like in Tennessee too, like Ryan Tannehill being the quarterback, like not really a great quarterback, but like he throws the ball where it needs to be, and you have Derrick Henry as your running back, so it's like
and
you best running back,
AJ Brown.
Brown. Do they still have Corey Davis? Or was
no, Corey Davis. He went to the Jets now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have AJ Brown and Julio Jones in Tennessee, which I have been here in Tennessee, is in talks with Atlanta.
Yeah, I feel like Atlanta's going to be looking for an offensive, crucial piece is being traded. They're going to need that defensive crucial piece because
and
I feel like their offense is remove Julio Jones, they're going to score a little bit less, but put a stud defender out there, they're going to give up a lot less points.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think Julio wants out anyway. We kind of want to trade him, so we're going to move on. Bring in that stud defensive piece.
Tennessee, it's tough because they really don't have the pieces to trade for it. I think they would have to be looking at a lot of first rounders. I think it would be like 2 first rounders, and then you got to give someone else up to even be in the ballpark of getting Julio Jones. So
because that's where I was looking at too. Like, I'm not saying there's no way the Bears can be able to get Julio Jones cap space wise. But you would think like they're not going to give up Khalil Mack. Like, that's an untouchable to get Julio Jones.
Yeah.
So say for some reason Atlanta wanted Jalen Johnson, their cornerback, who you can argue is 1 or 2.
Mm.
I feel like, okay, say Atlanta for some reason takes that, but it's like you really don't want to give up your top secondary, one of your 2 top secondaries, where it's like, all right, we're gonna have we're gonna turn into the Atlanta Falcons. We have no secondary.
Yeah, and even with Jalen Johnson, I feel like Julio, you're still talking like Jalen Johnson first round pick.
Yeah, you're still giving up
a couple more like later rounds too. Just because Julio Jones does have a lot of value, even though he is at the later end of his career.
Yeah, because he had a terrible year, but also like I feel like really Matt Ryan also had a bad year, so like that kind of doesn't help.
Yeah,
and they're down, so like they know they have to score a ton of points because their defense is going to give a lot of points, and I feel like that just puts unnecessary pressure on the offense because we have to go out and beat studs. So I guess one of my questions to you would be, who do you think I guess is a liable? I'm going to go with like who I want him to go to, and then like if you have a decent, because I don't know that much about depth on teams' defense.
Yeah.
So where do you think like an actual good fit would be for him where both the Atlanta and this team makes out good?
I think the Colts. I did say this for Kenny Galladay as a top landing spot because I feel like the Colts need a true number 1 wideout.
Okay, yeah.
So T.Y. Hilton, he ain't that.
No,
what he
I feel
used
like
to
he's
be
always been
anymore.
a number 2 or a slot. Like,
Yeah.
he's amazing at what he does, but he's not a number 1.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not a number 1. Great number 2. So you bring Julio Jones in. You got Julio Jones, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr. Like that, you would have a stacked core for Carson Wentz to succeed.
Yeah.
And you got the cap. You have the defensive pieces if that's what they are looking for. And then they did have that trade for Carson Wentz, so they did lose a little bit of draft picks.
Yeah.
Because I believe if Carson Wentz does play well, it's a second or a first that they have to give up to Philly. So, but they do have other picks that they can trade for in other rounds. So I feel like they could definitely be a landing spot for him, and it would be a great fit for Julio to succeed. Honestly.
Oh yeah, I think so. That'd be amazing.
It would just be, can Carson Wentz play like he used to, and not like he did last year, where he was just garbage.
Yeah, we need Carson Wentz, where the biggest problem was the receivers dropping the ball, because Julio and T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman Jr. aren't going to drop.
Yeah, they will not drop the ball.
For me, like where I want Julio Jones to go, just as I don't think this is going to happen. I don't see it happening. But if he went to Cincinnati to team up with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, I'm looking at them as like the new, like, they're going to score like 50 points a game, because
dude, that would be insane receiving for, because
Joe Burrow's not going to have any time to throw the ball, but he'll just throw it straight up in the air 50 yards on the field and be like, all right, someone's going to catch it.
Yeah, like you could just place the ball wherever you want. They'll get it.
I feel like there's no way that's going to happen. I feel like Cincinnati's they would have to mortgage their future picks and stuff like that. And there's too many gaps on Cincinnati where they're not going to make more gaps by trading for Julio Jones.
Yeah, and especially if they didn't trade, make that my Jamar Chase pick. I could definitely see him going there, but it just, with the Jamar Chase pick, I don't think they would do it. But it would definitely be cool to see him go there.
Yeah, that's right. Because like when I looked at him, like, oh, that'd be cool. You know, Joe Burrow, this rookie quarterback, has a top 5 wide receiver, like stud guy to go out there, and then like also mentor Jamar Chase, be like, this is how you're gonna have to play in the NFL.
T. Higgins, Auden Tate, Tyler Boyd, a huge Tyler Boyd fan. He's a great slot receiver. He did amazing last year. Honestly, you would be talking like Cincinnati's now in the ballpark of maybe fighting for that number 2 worst team. Like the Steelers might be the worst team then if they landed him. And they're already in the question mark. I will say, the Steelers looking like they could be that last place in that division. In the AFC
I feel
North.
like it's just for the Steelers, it's more of just like, can they, like, if they get first of all, Julio Jones goes to Cincinnati, then the Steelers are down.
Yeah,
but it's like, if the Steelers draft picks perform well, then I think the Bengals are still in the bottom, because they still have no help to protect Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I feel like they did get a couple offensive linemen to protect him this draft class, but I feel like if you got Penny Sewell,
you would have been.
It would have been way better. You would be in a better.
Joe Burrow's heart is happy because he's teamed up with Jamar Chase, but his body is frightened from getting just absolutely pummeled into the ground again.
And he is on pace to be back week 1.
Oh yeah, I figured that he's a gamer. He'd want to get back. I hope that they're smart with him though. Yeah. I don't want to see a situation like RG3 or some of those early quarterbacks where it's like, you know, they just rush him back because it's like they don't have anyone behind him. It's like they don't even have like Blake Bortles or like someone like that to like kind of just.
No, they don't. Like,
it's just like we're putting him back out there, and if he gets hurt again, I don't want to say his career's done, but it could be done before it even starts.
It'll be like Carson Palmer, man. Like his career was just not the same after it. But I hope Joe Burrow is young. He could bounce back. But they definitely need to protect him. Like, from what I watched of him, like just in those couple of games that he did play, honestly, I feel like he would have won Rookie of the Year. Like, no question. I think he was that good. He's just that good.
Yeah, I think so for sure. And I think we're going to definitely throw out Twitter polls for Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones. So
yes.
Vote on those. We'll put like probably Bobby's, mine, and Andrew's picks for the 3 teams that we would want to see both of those guys go, and then we'll put other. So then if you vote other, just put in the comments down below where you think or where you want him to go and think he could go.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, and then I think we should move into NBA because I feel like NFL season very early.
We'll have a lot more discussions about NFL and everything. Yeah, I'm a huge NFL guy. Nick likes it a little bit.
I like watching the games. I don't get into in the summer. I don't really follow it unless something huge happens.
I don't blame you, but. We'll definitely dive into more NFL, but NBA now play-ins are officially over.
Yeah, I still after finishing, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I dislike it. I wish it was just the 7 seed plays the 10 seed, and the 8 seed plays the 9 seed, and then you're done. Yeah, I don't like the multiple double elimination for the better teams.
I figured when they came out with this, it was gonna be wild card, the wild card.
Yeah, if you lose, you're done.
Yeah, win, progress, lose, you're done. But so basically, it was if the lower seed team won, they had to play another one.
Yeah, so it wasn't set up how I think logically people expected. So the 7 seed played the 8 seed. So whichever team won out of that, one got the 7th seed. Then the 9th seed played the 10th seed. Whoever won out of that then played the loser from the higher seed. And then if you won, so the 10th seed, if they win 2 games in a row, then they get that 8th seed.
But if you are an 8th seed, you lose, then you go and play a 10th seed, you win, you're in.
Then you're in, yeah.
So I think it's stupid.
I didn't like it. I feel like it's the first year they did it. I feel like for next year, it should just be that 7 plays 10. If the 10 seed wins, I'm sorry, 7, you're out.
Yeah,
so say it's 7 versus 10 and then 8 versus 9. So if the 8th seed and the 10th seed both win, then the 8th gets 7 and then the 10 gets 8. Yeah, you just keep your same rank or whatever, but don't have a team has to win 2 games when another team can lose a game and then win 1.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. It's playoffs. You know what I mean? This. It all comes down to this. This is what you've been working for all season, and sorry, you just weren't good enough, honestly.
Yeah. So talking about play-ins, though, your boy John Morant ruined Curry's dreams of finally leading a team by himself.
I did like that Memphis one because I did say Memphis was a good team. I think they could make a deep run. But I felt bad for Curry, man. He just didn't have the help out there. He's just struggling without Clay.
I feel like he got to experience the NBA from the team, the point guards who are like, it's only me. Or when LeBron was by himself and he's like, oh, stop crying, LeBron, or stop complaining and stuff like that. Now he's by himself. He feels how hard it is.
Because Curry has always had some help. Don't get me wrong. I do think Curry is one of the best shooters ever.
Yeah, ever.
But it just seems like he's always had someone to help him. He's always had Draymond Green or Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
And it just really shows without that third piece.
It's like an offensive, like Draymond Green isn't a huge help on offense, but he plays good defense, so he covers for Curry there. And then on offense, when you have 2 guys that can both shoot, it's hard to put all of your defensive effort on Curry. So Klay Thompson's gonna be wide open.
Yeah.
But right now the Warriors team is just so young with the guys who are replacing Clay, where it's teams are going to be you know what? I think Jordan Poole is their second best shooter now.
Yeah.
It's we'll leave him open so that Curry can't get an open shot for Curry, which is, if you have one guy on Curry, he's probably somewhat open. But now it's we can put 2 guys on Curry and we'll just let the other guy have a wide open 3.
Yeah, that's really all you had to do. You shut down Curry, you're winning. That's pretty much
what happened. And John Morant played amazing.
Yeah, dude. So I think he put up 36 points. So
yeah, which I think you take Curry out, Memphis absolutely it doesn't go to overtime. Memphis just dominates.
Yeah,
but John Morant's out. Steph Curry is in the playoffs easily. There's no way Memphis beats Golden State without John Morant.
Yeah, no, he's definitely shining, and it's his 2nd year in the league, so it's you could see he's taking that step. He's going to be one of the greats for a while.
I wanted him to follow the Bulls so bad.
I did too.
For them to take him because I thought he was a tremendous point guard. I feel like the reason he scores so much is because Memphis doesn't really have that second piece.
Yeah.
But I think like if you put him on a team with Zach LaVine, he would score less points and get a lot more assists. Like I feel like he's that guy who would just fit how he needs to.
Yeah, like he's an all around like baller basically. Yeah. Like he could do everything. Like he could dunk, he could shoot threes, he could pass the open man. Like he could do everything that you need him to do. And it's just like Kobe White.
No, he's not.
He's not that.
He's
like,
he's not that guy who could just kind of fit in any system.
Yeah, it's like he's a one trick pony, pretty much. Like
and like there's still, I think they both came in the league at the same time, or maybe Kobe came in 1 year before. So like their careers will change like throughout the time, but I feel like Ja Morant is just starting off so hot, where it's like really any team would love to have it.
Yeah, because honestly, dude, because didn't Zion get drafted number 1, then Ja Morant number 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, like, I think he might be even better than Zion.
I think so, for the simple fact that like I feel like a point guard has more roles to fill.
Yeah.
Whereas like the position that Zion plays is like,
don't get me wrong, Zion's a beast.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Huge Zion fan, but
he has less impact on his team, and not like his fault. It's just the position that he plays and how big he is. Like he can't be a point guard.
Yeah, because you take Zion away from the Pelicans, they still could probably be successful and good. But you take Ja Morant away from Memphis, they're nothing without him.
But the other playing game we saw in the East was the Wizards absolutely destroying the Pacers.
They crushed them. It was like 40 points.
Yeah, I think it was like, because the Pacers won
30. I think it was by 30.
Because I think the Pacers won their first play-in game against Charlotte, like 144 to like 117, and then they lost like 144 to 115. So it's just like you absolutely blew out a team, and then you go into the next game and then get absolutely blown out by Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal.
Yeah, because I honestly thought the Pacers, after their performance against the Hornets, because the Hornets weren't a bad team this year.
They were. I feel like they were a lot better than anyone expected. They have Gordon Hayward, they have LaMelo Ball, so it's like they had the pieces. I feel like they were still a couple, like maybe a year or two away of just guys getting comfortable playing.
Hey, Michael Jordan's done a good job with that.
Oh yeah, he's turned it around for sure.
Yeah, he has. And definitely adding LaMelo Ball. That team is good. Is going to be good down the road. Yeah,
and I think like Russell Westbrook is showing like, all right, I'm ready to play in the playoffs, and like we'll get into the actual playoff talk right after this. But for that playing game, for his team to go out there and dominate, I don't think he got as many points as he usually gets.
He only got 18 points. So it's like what you guys said. I think at this point he's just trying to win the game. I don't think he's trying to do too much. So I think we could look more into playoffs like as it goes. I think he's going to be more of a contributor.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then like if he can do that, I feel like that's really what holds him back from having team success. Like he always has personal success, but I feel like for me, and I don't know how he thinks, but I feel like for him, he'd rather win games than get triple doubles. But sometimes on the stat sheet, it looks like he'd rather get triple doubles than get wins, which is just kind of depressing to look at.
Yeah, but because for me, I'll put up 0 points if we get to win.
Yeah,
I would be happy with that. But I instead of
putting up 40 and then lose by 20 or something.
Yeah, I think definitely now he's in win mode, so I think he's gonna be looking to pass the ball more, get more assists, and hopefully that will push the Wizards into maybe. I don't see them going past this first round, but into the second round.
Yeah, you can see if they get into the second round, like okay, maybe they can do something, but it just kind of all depends on how well like Russ plays, and like we're filming this a day later than we normally do, so Russ did have an ankle injury in yesterday's game, so it's like. We're basing this on if he comes back.
Yeah.
And he plays how he just played in that play-in game. But obviously if he doesn't come back, then really we'll just have to wait until next year.
Take the Wizards out of the equation. If he doesn't come back, they're done. Like
that's not just gonna work, because then you're leaving it all on Bradley Beal, and he's not a guy that can just go out there and just dominate a game.
No, he's not. And that sucks that he got the ankle injury, because
yeah, because like you just saw him play in that play-in game, and you're like, okay, maybe maybe it's playoff mode where he's changing how he plays a little bit and facilitates a little bit more. But hopefully he comes back. Hopefully it makes it a competitive series, but that's all we can really hope for. I know another series in the East that you really like is New York versus Atlanta because Trae Young's going off, but I know you're a big D Rose fan still from his time with the Bulls.
Yeah, you still got to be. If you're a Chicago fan, you
got to be happy that he's and you get Tom Thibodeau's out there too, so it's like it's pretty much Bulls just moved over into New York.
It's just Chicago 2.0 over there. Yeah. But it was rough. Trae Young just shined in Madison Square Garden, and
he's young too. Like we're looking at some of these young guys.
Well, we're seeing a shift in basketball for sure. Yeah. Like it's all this young talent now. Like LeBron's old,
LeBron's old, yeah. Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Ja Morant, Steph Curry's still shooting like crazy, but like it's starting to be talk of these younger guys who are just they're more consistent. They do more things.
But after that tough loss, do you think the Knicks can bounce back? Like,
I mean, like they won yesterday, so it's like they had a tight game where they ended up pulling it out, but they're also playing at home. So in those close games, that home court advantage definitely bumps you up.
Yeah, and if you lose at home, like it's definitely tough because now you got to go and get wins on the road.
Yeah, so like they split that series 1-1, which if you look at it numbers wise, as if you're starting out as the away team, you don't have home court advantage. You just need one win of those first two, because now you can win all three of your games at home that you have left.
Yeah,
and you win the series. So I feel like I don't want to say the Knicks are out of it because it's tied 1-1, but I feel like a big reason why they won that game last night was because they were at home.
Yeah.
So in a same situation in the next two games,
when they have to be on the
road, they're not going to have that fan boost. And I feel like if they're coming back to New York in Game 5 down 3-1, I can't see them winning all three games and sweeping the last three.
I would really like to see D Rose get at least into the second round. But
yeah, I think we've kind of talked about it in just not on the podcast, just kind of off air or whatever. I feel like whatever team gets up against the Nets is probably going to end up losing to the Nets. So it's like hard to root for any like one series like who you want to see, because like for me, I want to see probably the Heat do well, and I want to see the Knicks do well.
Yeah.
But if the Knicks go up against the Nets and it's a 4-0 blowout for the series, like I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, you're not. So and really, it's like maybe the only two teams that could really be in contention to beat the Nets would be Philly and Milwaukee, honestly.
Yeah.
I think those would be the only two teams that could even have a chance at beating.
Which, like, it kind of, like, looking at it as an NBA fan, it kind of, like, breaks your heart a little bit because it's like, well, I want to root for the, like, you want to see the Knicks win.
Yeah.
But it's like if the Knicks win and then somehow they beat Philly, then you're looking at the Nets versus the Knicks and you're like, man, it's probably going to end up being a blowout. Or, like, Miami. I really like Miami. Yeah. I also like Atlanta too, but I feel like if either of those two teams go up against the Nets, it's like it's still going to be like an absolute blowout. So it's just like
it's like the Monstars, man.
Yeah, you're just like, you need like another, like there's such a big super team. You got Kyrie Irving, which you could probably argue one of the best point guards, if not number one.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I think at this day of how the game's being played, I think James Harden's the number one shooting guard in the league.
Yeah,
and then I think. I'm saying like Klay Thompson hurt. Yeah. James Harden. I feel like Klay Thompson you can argue both ways. And then you put Kevin Durant, say, I don't really know what position they call him, but like say he's small forward and put LeBron.
Yeah, he's like a mix of small forward, power forward. Like,
I think Kevin Durant's the best forward in basketball right now.
With LeBron having a down year this year with his injuries, I definitely think he takes that.
Yeah, like, so you're looking at a team that has 3 of the best players at their position or like in the top 3.
Yeah.
Like, really, how do you stop that unless you have at least 2 guys?
And then add Blake Griffin into the
Blake Griffin, they have a not like it's not like that team where like they only have 3 good players and the rest of their team is terrible.
Like, they have good depth.
Yeah, they have great depth. And it's like what you were saying earlier. I feel like the Philadelphia has a chance because they have some stud players.
Yeah.
And Giannis is on Milwaukee. So it's like we have a chance there. But
yeah, like you can't count Giannis out. And that guy.
No.
But honestly, I think Philly would be.
I feel like Philly versus
that would Brooklyn be a good game to watch.
Like the best series to watch.
Like
So I guess I kind of want to see it happen. But if for some reason the Nets lose and get blown out, I do not want it to be Philly versus another team.
Yeah, I would like to see a lower seeded team make it. But I don't see the Nets getting blown out at all. Like
no,
they've come into the playoffs 2-0 against, I believe,
the Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics, and it just I feel like they're gonna just tear through the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing.
I feel like it's just that you have a team that has so many pieces, and then like I know me and you are huge Dame Lillard fans.
Yes,
and I know like a lot of talk is like, can he lead Portland by himself? And for me, I think it's just like right now they're playing the Denver Nuggets. And I feel like in a normal series where Jamal Murray and Jokic is playing amazing, if Jamal Murray's healthy and playing, I think they lose this round.
Yeah, I think it's definitely nowhere near
because Lillard can't carry a whole, like he can carry a team and be successful. Like they got the 6th seed. They made it without the play-in games.
Yeah,
but it's when you're going up against Jokic, who's an MVP. So him like one-on-one against him, that's a close series, but almost every other team in the West, besides, I guess, Memphis, with only having John Morant, has at least 2 stud pieces.
Yeah, because like look at Utah with Devin Booker and
Utah has Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell
Rudy
and
Gobert.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert. My bad.
The Suns have Devin Booker,
Chris Paul. I meant to say Suns.
I was like, I didn't know if you meant to say Suns or
Utah. I totally meant to say Suns. My bad. But like, yeah, every piece they have at least 2, and like McCollum is not bad.
No,
it's
but if you shut down Lillard, then it's over.
Yeah, McCollum's not going to pick up that
If you shut down Chris Paul, Devin Booker's still going to play well.
Yeah.
If you shut down Devin Booker, Chris Paul will still figure out a way to help the team win.
Like I could definitely see with Murray being hurt, like I definitely could see Portland sliding into
the second round.
Yeah, conference series. But like it's going to be, I can see it going either way. Like it's going to be a tough series for them, but I hope Lillard makes it.
Yeah. I want to see him get, maybe not this year, but like next year, just add like a solid rebounding piece, or get some of those guys healthy, because I know they've had issues with their power forwards and centers just not being full strength when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, and Carmelo Anthony,
he needed to be there 5 years ago.
Yes,
and then or have the talent he had 5 years ago in like athleticism.
Because like Portland's honestly a good fit for him. Like I feel like he's doing good. It's just like it's just at the end of his career. Way too old, man.
Yeah.
Like, but Portland's one of those teams where they could build around Lillard and get a couple more key pieces for him to not have to do all the work.
Yeah, or like if you can shut him, because like I feel like every defensive strategy is shut down Lillard and we win. Whereas if you shut down Lillard and they have someone else to pass it to, it's like, okay, now we can't focus all of our energy on Lillard.
But like, dude, like teams will like try to shut him down and he still succeeds. Like it's insane.
A bad game for Lillard is still like 25 points.
Yeah,
so, but like they still lose. So
like
it's
he's so slept on. Like he's so good. I always pick the Trailblazers in 2K.
I just love playing with Lillard. I think a big issue that isn't really even basketball related is LeBron's acting ability. Not off the court doing Space Jam, on the court flopping.
Yep. Hey, if he is good as an actor on the or off the court as he is on the court, Space Jam 2, he's gonna win. What is it?
An Oscar.
Yeah, an Oscar for it, man. Hopefully it's good.
Okay, so if you guys didn't see it, he got poked in the eye, and I'm gonna give Bobby some stats on other sports. So they broke this down. I saw it on Twitter, and I think I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So they had a picture of an NHL guy who got sliced in the leg with a skate. So I mean, like that's like I would expect you not to get up.
Yeah.
He got up like 16 seconds after getting sliced in the leg and played the rest of the game. Like he played the rest of the game and then found out that he was cut that bad.
Wow.
There was a baseball player he was trying to bunt and he got a 95 mile per hour fastball to the face.
Oh.
He was down for like 26 seconds and then got back up. And I mean, like that, I'm like, okay, stay down. You probably got a concussion or whatever.
Yeah, like straight to the dome.
So Joe Burrow, we just talked about him earlier,
yeah.
tears his ACL and MCL on that play. He was down for 36 seconds and then he was up and like, you know, I mean, he wasn't going to play. He knew he was
Yeah.
screwed up, but he was
like he
just
was at
constantly-
least up and trying to move.
Yeah.
Like,
And then LeBron James, can you guess how long he was on the ground after getting poked in the eye?
I'm gonna go with 86 seconds.
Yeah, it was between like 80 to like 90 seconds or something.
Really?
Someone said, yeah.
Oh my god!
Just for getting poked in the eye.
Like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like it can't be that bad. If Joe Burrow could get up and walk after he tore his ACL and MCL, like,
Yeah,
you could get up. Like,
well, plus LeBron's such a big guy. Like, it bothers me so much that like when he flops, it's like, yes, I understand. Like, if he gets absolutely bodied, he might not move a lot, for it looks like he barely got touched, but it might be a lot of force.
Yeah.
But some of these times when he just dives on the ground.
all right, if you're a little guy, I get it, man, because you're getting bodied by someone.
Yeah,
who's
like Chris Paul.
7
Like if
foot.
Chris Paul
Yeah.
gets hit by Anthony Davis, like I expect him to slide
Yeah,
across
like-
the court.
Like, yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Like, but LeBron, but he's always been the king of it. Like, you know what I mean? He's always done it. He's always sold it, and it's always the one thing I've always hated about him.
I feel like that's like I'm a fan of LeBron for like what he's done, where it's like he's kind of always been like the guy on the team and he kind of makes the other players better. But I feel like so many people despise LeBron for the flopping fact.
Yeah,
that, like if he didn't flop, he'd have more fans that support him because it's like, okay, he's not a big flopper. Like you can't really be mad about him for just playing the game.
And it's just like, yeah, come on, dude. Like 80 seconds for being poked in the eye. Like,
Yeah,
you're
like, I understand.
fine.
Okay, like keep holding, like it's going to be watery or whatever. It's
Yeah.
going to be hard to see. Like, but at least walk around. Like your legs are still fine.
Yeah, you're just laying on the ground. And the baby LeBron.
I feel like it's getting worse now that he's getting older because like I feel like he gets super tired. So
Yes.
now like he gets poked in the eye and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna rest for 2 straight minutes laying on the floor.
Yeah, like
Where it's like, dude, come on, just get up and go sit on the bench at
like
least.
this is a playoffs. Get off the get up and play the game, dude. Like
It bothers me.
Yeah,
Like I feel like it bothers a lot of fans, and I feel like I don't know. I think it's maybe just because he's getting older, but he's been doing it even when he was in good physical health. So I really don't know.
yeah, honestly, it's one of those things. He's just looking to get the foul. Like he's just trying to sell it. But again, like I said, I mean, get more points, get the win. Yeah, I understand it, I guess, but I'm not a fan of it.
Okay, so I think you know we were almost every game. Actually, every game is after last night since we're filming this the next day.
Yeah.
Every series has played 2 games. So what's your biggest shock so far in the NBA playoffs?
My biggest shock is Milwaukee going up 2-0 on the Heat.
Oh yeah,
Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think. Well, the Heat is essentially, they made it to the finals last year.
Yeah,
So I mean, like they're essentially like
the second best team last year. So it's,
but I didn't think they would be like excelling in the playoffs, but I didn't think they would come into the playoffs.
They're just kind of not playing good. Like,
Their loss hasn't been terrible. It's just I just feel like they just haven't been there. Like, you would expect them to be playing a lot better than they are.
Yeah. So game 1, they took it to overtime and they lost 109 to 107. So like I feel like that's kind of what you expect. Like, Milwaukee is definitely a better team, so you expect a close game.
Yeah.
But their second game of the series, they lost 132 to 98.
Yeah. Like they just got blown out. Like you put up a fight, and then you come back and just get blown out. Like I expected them, lose by 1 point. They're gonna come back. They're gonna be wanting it more because because of how close the loss was. But they just came back and it was just meh. Like
it's not. And I feel like that's a little bit because it's only really Jimmy Butler that's really like the soul of that team. So like the harder he plays in the first game, he's going to be tired the second game.
Yeah.
But you would expect like after almost winning, the rest of the team to be like, all right, we can beat this team. Like they're not going to just dominate us. And it's just, I think that's going to be a good series. I'm hoping it gets close, but I feel like if it go, I mean, they just lost by 40 or not 40. What is it? They lost by 34. Like,
and then. I mean, they'll be playing at home. So
hopefully they can win 1 or 2 of those just to make it interesting. I know Andrew's big shock is that Dallas is up 2-0 on the Clippers. Hey. And I know he's a huge Doncic fan. I know you like Doncic, but like he's dominating Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, I did call this. I called Dallas going to the finals.
I was going to say, they're your pick to go for the West.
So I'm glad to see this. I think it's such a young team, and I feel like they could do it. Like, if the start of the line, they can make a great push.
Well, I think the big thing, too, that I'm surprised about, and I have a different surprise now that 2 games have been played for other series, because I also had that. My biggest surprise is that they beat LA at LA's home court.
Yeah.
Like, now they're going to Dallas, where I feel like their fan base is super high.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so now you expected to win at least 1 game at home, I guess. If after you lose game 1, you're like, we're going to win the second game. They lose both games. If Dallas could just win both their games at home, they just swept the LA Clippers, who have, I mean, Kawhi Leonard's an amazing player, and Paul George is amazing too.
And dude, Kawhi Leonard is a defense, like he's a force to be reckoned with on defense. Like, it's surprising, honestly, like that they're just running away with it. And I feel like if they could beat the Clippers, like, you know, maybe lose 1 game, maybe 2 games, like, you're gonna get the momentum.
Yeah, you're going to get the momentum, and you're just going to have that riding. And then I feel like if they can sweep them, I feel like you picking them to go to the finals is probably the smartest pick because
dude, they get this sweep, dude, they're just going to go into the next series just.
And I think I'm looking at the playoff bracket right now, and I think if they win, they're playing Utah or Memphis.
Yeah,
I would argue that they're a better team than Utah. Utah is just. They're a tremendous regular season team. Yeah. But if Luka's playing this well in the playoffs, I feel like there's really no one to stop him on Utah, and Memphis doesn't. We just talked about it earlier. They don't have that star power to go against.
They
Dallas.
don't. So I honestly could. If they beat the Clippers, they're gonna just mop the floor with either Memphis or Utah.
Definitely a big shock. I know Andrew wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest shock, it was that LA Clippers were down 2-0. Which
yes, very shocking. Honestly.
But my new biggest shock was Ja Morant, 47 points last night. He's playing like he's been in the NBA for 10 years.
Dude,
they ended up losing that game, which is tough when you score 47 points. But it's like he's not. It's no longer about just regular season. He's playing in the NBA playoffs on a big stage, and he scored 47 points. Like, that's second year of the league.
How old is he? I think he's only like 22. I want to say.
Bumping the table, and I keep my camera's gonna be shaky this week, but it's fine. Yeah, I think he came out. I think he played 2 years at.
Yeah, dude. I think he's only 22. Like,
he is 21 years old.
21 years old, and you're coming into the playoffs dropping 47 points. Yeah, like, and that's impressive.
And when he played against Curry in the elimination game, because like I feel like that's sometimes like this is only game 2. It's not like a super high pressure situation. I feel like it is for him. Yeah. But when he played against Curry in the play-in game, he still scored 36. He can play under pressure, and he can play against good talent. And he's showing why I think maybe some people overhyped Zion just because he could dunk and he was so big. Yeah.
But he's showing that he should have been that number 1.
I feel like in like 5-6 years, if Ja Morant keeps this up, when those YouTube channels and like ESPN does like the redraft of the draft,
they will definitely.
I think they're going to move Ja Morant up 1 spot, and I really don't think the Pelicans made a bad selection.
Zion Williams is good. He is good. It's just Ja Morant has been such an impact on that team,
and I don't think anyone realized that how consistent he was going to be.
Yeah, like he's very consistent. Like come in, put 36. You know,
like 47.
And I'm pretty sure he put up like over 30 points the other game too.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want to look that up and see, because I feel like he knows how to score. He can score in multiple ways. He can play defense. He's just an all around like just good talent for being so young.
26. So I mean, like you're getting consistent points up. Like he's putting up.
Yeah, right now
30 every game.
He's averaging 36.5 points in the playoffs. He's got 4 rebounds a game, 5.5 assists. It's like we're gonna definitely follow the NBA playoffs as it goes.
Yeah, as it progresses. Because I mean,
baseball's early season. Yeah, at least it's actually NFL is not even, it's pre even preseason.
It's OTAs, yeah. Like,
and then NHL, we kind of don't really cover that much. We're just not not that into it.
We'll get into it more when playoffs start, coming down.
Yeah, because it's like right now it's early playoffs. There's like we don't know that much about NHL. So
Andrew is our NHL guy, so maybe next week we'll throw some NHL
we'll
in there. Oh, if he's back, hopefully he'll be back.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna cover. This is gonna be a very short segment on covering golf because Bobby and I both don't know like a super lot about it. But earlier this summer we golfed like 6 weeks in a row, and we probably went like 10 times in a short amount of time.
And I've always appreciated golf because you always think it's a lot easier than what it is. It's a tough sport, like honestly. And as you grow to become better at it, you kind of appreciate these athletes.
Because that was my question to you. Like, how much you don't really watch that much golf, do you?
Yeah, I catch it here and there.
Yeah, like just like if it's on or something.
Yeah, but I don't like go out of my way to watch it.
Because like when I was younger, my uncles and stuff would like put it on TV, and like I'm like, this is so boring to watch because it's like they hit it exactly where they want it. But then like after you play golf and realize how hard, even if it's an easy shot, like straight at the green, to put it exactly where you want it. It's just such a struggle, and then to watch people do it,
like
so well
consistently, and it's definitely like a crazy sport because it's like that's you can't be consistent with it. Like
no, like you have to be tremendously good to be super consistent.
Yeah,
and I think we did have a record broken this weekend, which I you had to know that.
Yes, I did know that. Yeah.
So Phil Mickelson, 50 years old, oldest person to win a major tournament. He won the PGA Championship this weekend, and I feel like the last person was like 48 and a half years old when they won it, but that was like in the 80s. Like, an old player has not been this successful to even win a major tournament in so long, and it was just it's a wild thing to have happen.
Hey, good for him because honestly, dude, he's going up against like 20-year-olds, like a bunch of
19, like 21-year-olds,
and he comes out there. And he just shows them how it's done. Yeah. Like, it's impressive. I'll give him credit because, I mean...
you got guys less than half your age out there, and you're just going out there and being like, hey, I'm just going to beat up on these young kids who don't really even have that much life experience.
And, dude, like, when you're 20 and stuff, you could crush that ball way farther than, like, a 50-year-old.
Yeah, like, so, I mean, like, that was one of my questions, which, like, it's a short segment or whatever, but... So Phil Mickelson is probably one of the best finesse golfers that people believe, but he doesn't drive it that far off the tee. But then you have guys like Brooks Koepka, who he beat, and then Bryson DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson. Those guys are just known as just long hitters. Yeah. Do you think it's better to be just an absolute power long hitter guy, or better with finesse?
I think it really depends. Like, I feel like it could go either way. Like some days it's good, some days it's bad.
Yeah, like, I think this week they said was like the most technically challenging course.
Yeah.
That's when you want the finesse. But if you're going up on a long course...
Like, you want to crush that ball.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like it just... Yeah, with that course being technically challenging, I feel like it definitely played to Phil Mickelson's advantage on winning it.
Yeah, I feel like that was good, and I feel like we talked about it before. It was like, with all of his experience, it's so much nicer because, like, if he has 2 bad holes, he can recover from that.
Yeah.
But, like, these 20-year-olds... probably have never really had like a big failure, where if they start to fail in a big tournament, it's like they kind of fall apart.
Yeah, like he's just like, you know what, I've been here before, ain't nothing different.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna say like our favorite golfers to watch and stuff like that was kind of our plan, and like Andrew put his in, and I know why he likes this guy. He loves Jordan Spieth. And he likes Jordan Spieth because Andrew says they play similar because they just kind of don't care what happens. Like
he just goes up and hits the ball, just going for it.
When you should be smart and be like, all right, I'm gonna not hit over a water to get on this green. Andrew just goes, screw it, and then hits it in the water. And then Jordan Spieth, also on the PGA Tour, has way more pressure and way more money on the line. And he still goes up there and goes, nah, screw it. Screw common sense. Like, I'm just gonna go for the green and try to do something amazing. And it doesn't always work out, but you're having fun. You're enjoying golf. You're enjoying the sport you play. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, no, you get to do what you love. And
it's not like it's ruining. He's still successful. So it's not like he's falling apart.
It probably screws him sometimes, but I mean, it probably works out for him a lot more than it screws him over.
Yeah. So who's your fun golfer to watch?
I'm gonna go Bryson DeChambeau actually.
Okay.
Dude, he could crush the ball. That's my whole thing. He just crushes it. Has a sweet name.
He wears. I don't know if have you seen the hats he wears?
Yeah.
He's because like everyone normally wears like hats like this, and then he has like the old like Scottish little hats, with the old little flat brim thing. And like you would think he's American, but like you would think he's definitely like Scottish or from Ireland or England, something like that.
Yeah, he's just a cool golfer to watch because he completely crushes those balls. Like that's what I wish I could do on a drive.
Yeah, just go out there and just bam, just wail it out.
Mine just goes half the distance and just slices
way right. Yeah, I think I really like Dustin Johnson. Same reason when I first started liking him because he used to just everyone hit the ball and then all of a sudden be like, oh, this is where the average drive went, and then it's like 70 yards up the fairway. It's like, oh, here's where Dustin Johnson's balls are, and I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah,
but he started losing tournaments because he couldn't putt and he couldn't chip. Now he's learned to like putt and chip. So now he's like DeChambeau still drives it farther than him.
Yeah.
But now he's not that much farther behind DeChambeau on drives, and his finesse game is just insane.
Yeah.
So like he's turning into an all-around player, and why he's one of the best golfers in the world
like
right now.
you've got to see him progress, and like I think that is pretty cool, you know.
Which in like every once in a while, in like a long par 5, he'll just absolutely wail on a ball. And like I feel like that's still the most fun to watch is when a guy just goes up there and just doesn't care really where, like they know mostly where the ball is going to go, but just absolutely wails on a ball.
Yeah. But golf is it's interesting sport.
If you haven't watched it, I suggest watching maybe just like top 10 like PGA moments from like the past couple of years, or watching on Sunday just like for a couple hours and realize how it's not easy. Like they make it look so simple, but it is.
Yeah, no, it's a lot
so
tougher
difficult
than it looks. That's for sure.
All right, so we're also in a little segment, just a little sports segment. It doesn't have to be about something we talked. It might be about something else, but just like a sports moment that caught our eyes this week. And I think me and Bobby have the exact same one.
Yes, we do.
Because mine was, and I put this in, and then I think Bobby has a little bit more of a personal reason why it's there.
Yeah.
So this week, Joe West broke the record by calling 5,376 regular season games in MLB.
I actually got to attend the game. Shout out to my mom's boss. He did give us free tickets to the game, and it was awesome just to see that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell us a little bit about what they did, because I feel like we probably saw a little bit of it on TV, but you were actually physically in the stadium.
Yeah, so like they announced it, they put it on the big screen, congratulations, and then he got like shout outs from a bunch of different people, all the people that he's umpired with from 1982 to the present. Like they gave him huge shout outs and stuff. And Jim McMahon was actually in the stand.
The greatest Bears quarterback ever.
Exactly. And we got to actually see him because we were sitting in the same section. He came walking up, and my brother Scott, he's like, Jim McMahon. And he just like looked at us. And I was like, oh my God, that was Jim McMahon. I was like,
he's right there.
Yeah, I was like, at the Sox game. Like, oh. And it was like really cool. It was just like a fun thing to see. And the game was awesome. They were playing the Cardinals. I'm a Cubs fan. So
I was gonna say they beat up on them.
Yeah, dude. Jack Flaherty had 8-0 going into this game, and just got rocked. And honestly, it wasn't even his fault. Like,
I was gonna say there was like he had like what 2 earned runs out of the 6 or 7 he gave up or something.
Yeah, Nolan Arenado, 2 errors.
That's insane.
Tommy Edman just ball right to the mitt, drops it. Like I was just like, what is going on? Like it felt like they were playing a little league team out there. And then the out in center field, there's a cup snake going on, and people are just cheering, having fun. And I'm just like, man, Southside's rowdy.
I was gonna say, because you're a Cubs fan, but you're getting to experience the South Side.
Yeah.
See that? Just baseball fans are just crazy out there.
Yeah, and Southside, different breed, man.
Hey, at least the teams are good this year.
Yeah.
Get to root for. I mean, I'm a Mariners fan still. Got my Mariners jersey on. They're doing okay, way out there. But to experience that both Chicago teams have a chance to win their divisions this year, that's just a cool experience.
Yeah, it's cool because I've never been like a Sox hater. Like
I've been the same way. It's like whatever team. Because I used to be a Cubs fan growing up, and then like I'm a Mariners fan now, but I root for the Sox more than the Cubs.
Yeah.
I don't want the Cubs to do bad, and I don't want the Sox to do bad.
Yeah, no, it's like
when they play each other, I root for the Sox more than the Cubs.
Yeah,
but it's like,
and I mean the Sox have been bad for like so long. Like that, like I felt like I feel like good that they're winning. You know what I mean? Like they haven't had a good team in a lot of years.
Oh,
like, so it's like it's nice to actually see them do well. It's like you don't wish bad on them.
I'm still hoping for in my lifetime Cubs versus Sox World Series. I feel like that's so hard to have happen, but like if they could both be in the World Series, the city is probably going to burn to the ground because of the insane. Because Cubs fans are crazy, Sox fans are absolutely crazy.
Yeah, they're just
too.
a different breed.
So
man.
it's just like they're not that many miles apart, the stadiums, but it's just like the difference of the stadiums, the difference of the it's like the people that just the different levels of crazy.
Having hundreds of cups long, and then just they were so rowdy that literally they got kicked out.
Like, I was gonna say so. Cup snakes always baffle me, but just because of the pure like cups stacking together don't add up to a ton. So how much dollars were beers at the game? I'm thinking cup snakes are probably cheap beers that they drink out of. So
dude, it was $11.25 for a beer.
Okay, so
and we probably drank like 10 beers between the four of us, and it was like that long.
Oh my!
So like, dude, it was like hundreds of cups.
Which like, I agree that like if you guys made a cup snake, the four of you, you're gonna have people add to it because there's no way someone's drinking that many. But like still, that's got to be like tons of money. That's
just insane. Like how much money do they make just off of beer alone?
Yeah, that's like I guess that will be another Twitter poll that we'll put up. It's just like, or not even Twitter poll, but just like leave it in the comments on YouTube or on Twitter. Yeah, like is beer super expensive at your stadiums and food? Because I feel like
in Chicago,
for Chicago, I know when we go to Sox games, we tailgate and eat like Subway sandwiches if we don't have time to like make burgers and stuff. But then we usually drink a decent amount outside of the stadium because it's just.
And now you can't because they don't allow tailgating. So
it's like they're definitely making.
Yeah, they're definitely making a lot of money off of that.
Yeah, so like I would like to see because I haven't really been to that many stadiums outside of Chicago that like when I wasn't like super young to like realize how much expensive things were.
Yeah, no, you really don't. Honestly,
so I would like to know, across the nation or I guess international fans, if we have any of those, like when you go to soccer games or rugby matches, like how expensive food and drinks are.
Yeah, let us know.
Probably spending like $1,000 to make that cup steak. Probably like 100 cups,
and then they get kicked out.
And then you get kicked out. And it's like, oh, it's like as long as I feel like when they're making cup snakes for being super rowdy. As long as it's not bothering other fans or the game, like if you're throwing stuff on the field,
I get
them out of there.
Yeah.
But if you're making a cup snake and like you're being super rowdy in your section, but everyone in the section seems to be okay with it, just let them have their fun. It's like they paid to be there.
That whole section was rowdy because the cup snake went from the top to the bottom, and they were all being rowdy. Like
so, as long as there's not anything happening, like if a fight breaks out, okay, kick him out.
Yeah,
but it's like. If they're just having fun, having a good time, they paid to be there, and they paid the $13, $11 for
to drink all those beers.
Just let them have it. All right, so I think we're winding down. I think we're gonna go with my question of the week. Definitely a thinker.
All right.
So I'm looking at you need a current player and a former player that kind of fits this mold.
Okay.
And I'm still struggling on a couple of mine, so like I'll give you at least one of mine, so you have time to think.
Okay.
So I'm looking at a player whose career could have been much better if he wasn't so loyal to a team. So I guess it's better for me to give an example and then go.
Okay.
So my example probably for current player is Joey Votto and Andrew McCutchen. I feel like they were studs on their team, but their teams were never good enough to like win a pennant or a division champion like the NLCS or win a World Series. And now they're at the point where, like, Andrew McCutchen's on the Phillies. But if the Phillies win the World Series this year, like it's not like he's making a huge contribution. Yeah, like he's still playing well, but it's not like he's the reason
that they're winning.
Yeah, that they're winning. Or like Joey Votto was so good for so long with the Reds. And they just like you could probably argue he's probably one of the best first basemen in the NL Central.
But they
just never amounted to much.
Yeah.
So I guess those are my current. It's a struggle for me to find a former one, just because I really have to think about it. So
like any sport, right?
Yeah, any sport. It doesn't have to be baseball. I feel like baseball is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Just because it's hard because like Joey Votto can hit 50 home runs a season, but their team still might lose 100 games because they just suck.
Okay, so current player, I'm going to go baseball.
Okay.
I'm going to have to say Chris Sale. Sorry, Sox fans.
Okay.
You guys screwed him. Man,
I think so.
Stayed loyal to that organization. They were probably the worst when he was on that team. He never got a lot of wins. It takes a hometown discount to stay in Chicago, and then you trade him to Boston.
Yep.
Like he was loyal to that organization, and it ended up screwing him in the long run. Because now he's 32.
Yeah, he's 32 years old,
and he's Tommy John. So it's I hope he could come back and be good, but there's a chance that now he's not going to be nearly as good.
Yeah.
So
and I feel like it's even worse for him because he was on a bad team and playing well. Yeah. Now he went to a more decent team at the time, but wasn't playing super great.
Yeah.
Now the Sox are good again and the Red Sox are bad.
Yeah.
And now if he comes back from this Tommy John and is better, he's pretty much back in the same position.
Yeah, it's he played his best years when they were terrible.
He's never been the stud that he can be on a team that was good enough to put him into a position
exactly
to win.
So I feel he definitely got screwed. And dude, I like Chris Hale too.
Yeah.
But
I think I thought of my former player.
All right, former.
I think I'm gonna go NFL for the simple fact is I was trying to think NBA because that's my sport.
Yeah.
But I guess I can go. I'm thinking I'm gonna go my NFL player, and then if you need more time, I'll fill in a guy who I think could kind of fit the mold in the NBA.
All right.
Damian Tomlinson. I felt like he had an amazing career, but it's not he has one of the best running backs, but he never got that Super Bowl championship.
Yeah,
they never made a deep playoff run even, really.
And I believe he holds the record for single most touchdowns in a season. I think it was 27.
I think so it's if you were to put I feel like he's kind of like a Derrick Henry type guy. He's just a power rusher.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry has made a couple deep playoff runs already. And it's Damian Tomlinson really never got the chance.
Yeah, because the Chargers were never that good.
No, and it's I feel like Damian Tomlinson would have excelled pretty much on any team he would have played for. But if he would have at least had that deep playoff run where it's all of my hard work paid off and I got a Super Bowl championship out of it, but he's just
no.
I have a bunch of personal awards.
Yeah, you put up 27 touchdowns in a year and he didn't even get a ring out of it. That's a good choice. I will say that. I think I got to go NFL for my former one, and I think I got to go Megatron.
Okay.
Detroit screwed him over completely.
Was he on the team when they went 0-16?
I'm not too sure. I don't think so. How can you go 0-16 when you have Megatron?
I'll look up Detroit Lions 0-16 year because he's such a good wide receiver, and to be on a team that's 0-16.
Yeah, that bad. But literally, he stopped playing because he didn't want to be in Detroit anymore, and they wouldn't trade him or anything. So he just retired early. So they caused the man to retire early.
He was on the team, and in 2008 they went 0-16. Dan Orlovsky was the quarterback.
Oh,
and
that's right before they got
Stafford.
Stafford. Yeah. I think they drafted him the next year.
So Calvin Johnson had 78 catches for 1,331 yards and 12 touchdowns.
That's not a bad year.
And they went 0-16.
That's just sad. How can you, man? That
was his second year too. So
this is his second year.
Yeah,
oh
my God. He got drafted first round, second pick in 2007.
Yeah, and he retired in 2014.
So that was his rookie year.
What?
Right? Because he got drafted second overall in 2007. So how do they do the
No. Yeah, that was his next year.
Okay, so the 2007 season. So then the 2008 season is technically 2008 and 2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, man, dude, how?
Oh, that's really rough.
Yeah,
because I was
no wonder.
Looking at
no wonder he retired early.
Yeah,
he was never gonna do anything there.
I found one, and I'll say this because I won't really say my current one because it's he doesn't have the same situation. A guy who's almost had that life but got lucky. Justin Verlander was on Detroit.
Yep.
Dominated on Detroit, but got traded to Houston, and then they won a couple World Series. But he still made an impact. He was still out there. dominating, he still was winning like the games in that playoff run.
Yeah, and like he was a huge factor of them winning it.
Because like I mean, I look at it now I'm trying to think of like Albert Pujols hasn't. They won a World Series in St. Louis, but say he didn't.
Yeah.
By him going to LA, if they win a World Series this year, he's still going to have a World Series ring.
But it's like he's not going to amount.
Like it's not him. Like he didn't help the team. Like he's going to help a little bit.
Like but, maybe like with like.
But I think if you remove Albert Pujols, they still have a chance to win a World Series.
Yeah, they do. Like
whereas if you take Verlander off that Houston Astros teams where they won the World Series,
I don't think they win.
They could still win, but it's like he was definitely a help factor.
Like he definitely would. I feel like he was a big factor of that because he had a good year that year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I feel like it's at least he made an impact to get that ring. Where like some people, it's like
you know what, and that brings it back full circle to the Julio Jones things. Hopefully this is what the move he makes to get that ring.
Yeah, hopefully he has a Justin Verlander situation and not a Chris Sale situation.
Yeah, where you just go to a team and then they become
like he gets traded to Houston. And it's just like,
dude, that would be terrible. I'd feel just bad for him.
I feel bad for anyone who's just on Houston's roster right now, really.
Even got drafted by him, like, I just feel bad. Like,
just sorry, Houston fans, but really sorry, Houston players, because you're forced to play on that team.
Yeah, you're stuck.
All right, let us know on Twitter or Facebook comments if you have any players that you would have liked to see win, or like because they have those stat potentials where they should have a ring or at least a deep playoff run, and they just don't.
But
I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week. If you guys liked what you saw or heard, let us know. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. You can go on our Facebook page, Garage Talk Sports. Follow us on Twitter at GTS Podcast 1. We're going to try to post more stuff. I know we kind of been slacking a little bit on polls and stuff. But we'll get into that. Let us know how me and Bobby did.
Yeah.
Andrew's still going to be in the podcast every week, but there might be weeks when there's only going to be two of us. So if you guys can tolerate just two people bouncing back and forth, we won't have to cancel the week just because one of us isn't able to be on the podcast because we're sick or if we're on vacation or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you guys next week.
See ya.